Welcome to this Pilates practice. My name's Debbie and I'm going to be taking you through the practice today. I don't know if you can see, I'm actually in a hotel room today, so I'm doing the practice from the hotel room. It's a little bit squashed, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do some yoga salutations. So you're going to need to stand at the front of your mats, okay, when we come to it, but I'll be standing here just because I know that if I go forward, you're not going to be able to see me. But before we do that, we're going to come down to the mat, we're going to check in with our bodies, and we're going to see how we're feeling today. So bring yourselves down to your mats, come down from your side, or come down from a seated rolling position. If you're coming down from a seated rolling position, your feet are nicely flat on the floor. We C-curve our spine down to the floor. We don't just drop back, we're protecting our spine. Now, if you're new to this Pilates and you've not done one of my practices before, I do generally tell you a little bit about myself, but I think so many people now have done these practices. Just go to YouTube and read my profile on there and you'll find out a little bit about me. But the basics are, with Pilates, we breathe in through the nose, we breathe out through the mouth. Every breath in, we pull in our core, every breath out, we pull the core tighter. The idea is to strengthen our core so that we support our spine, we get a better posture. Okay, so we're seated nice, with our cheekbones nicely on the floor. If you come down from your side, come down from the left if you have low blood pressure. Taking our arms out in front, breathing in, pulling in that core. And as we breathe out, we pull the core tighter and we start to C-curve ourselves down. Now, if you get to a point where you can't hold it with your core, take your hands behind the backs of your legs and support yourself coming down. Don't just drop back, because if you just drop back, you can hurt your spine. So we're coming to the floor now, taking our legs long. If you have lower spine issues, you take your feet mat width apart and you lock your knees in together. So just take yourself a nice full body stretch wherever you are, pulling in your core as you breathe in through the nose, and as you breathe out through the mouth, you pull the core tighter. You allow your spine to go down into the back of the floor, and you push your arms away. You can interlock your fingers. To push your arms away, you can just point the fingers away. You can point the toes, and you can really give yourself a good stretch. And then release down. Okay, do that one more time. Big breath in, pulling in the core. Breath out, pulling the core. Push the spine down into the mat and stretch away. Wherever you are, stretching away. If you've got your feet flat on the mat, squeeze your legs, squeeze your glutes. Push away. And then taking the arms down by your side, releasing your neck out. It's just rolling your neck gently from side to side. Release that neck out. We hold so much tension in our necks. Come back to center, and then take a big deep breath in, pull in that core. And as we breathe out, pulling the core tighter, we just lift our chin to our chest. Our shoulders are staying on the floor, we're lifting our head. Just chin to chest, holding it there. Breathe in, pull the core tighter. And as you breathe out, holding the core tight, you lower the head back down to the mat. And then just let everything go. Start to release yourself now, closing the eyes down if you can. Releasing your feet, your lower legs, your knees and your upper legs. Have focus there, scan the legs, see how they're feeling today. If you need to focus on any area throughout your practice. Focus around the lower spine, the core and the pelvis area, your mid-spine and your tummy, your upper spine and your chest. Are there areas down your spine that are not happy? Breathe into those areas, ask them to soften, focus on them throughout the practice, be mindful of them. Your hands, your lower arms, your elbows, your upper arm, both arms now. Relax them down, scanning for any issues. Shoulders, neck and head. Let them go, let them soften down, preparing for the practice. big scan, a full scan of your body from the tips of the toes to the top of your head. Scanning over, asking everything to soften and taking note of those areas that you need to focus on today. Start to take some movement to the body, waking it up, getting it ready for our practice now. So maybe circling your wrists, circling your feet, whatever's good for you. And then everybody meeting with their feet on the mat beneath. You're going to take the mat width apart. We're going to do a little spinal twist here, so locking the knees in, getting yourself comfortable. Taking the arms out either into a T shape, which I can't do because I haven't got space here, or up into cactus arms, where you bend your arms at the elbows upwards and gently parting the knees. And take a breath in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out through the mouth, pull the core tighter and drop those legs over to the left hand side. Allow the spine and everything to start relaxing down. Breathing into tense areas, asking them to soften. Now breathing in through the mouth, through the nose, pulling in the core. And as you do so, bring the legs to center. Holding it there, breathing out, keep the core tight. Breathing in, pull the core tighter. And as you breathe out, hold the core tight as you drop the legs over to the right hand side. When you get to your point of comfort, just let everything go and relax into that spinal twist. In breath, pulling in that core, and at the same time bringing your legs to center, holding the core tight, don't let it go for the moment. Just going to do a couple of little bridge poses, so we're getting our neutral spine. Neutral spine, we take our hands into a triangle shape, take them over the base of our core here, around the pelvic area. We breathe in, we're pulling in the core. The stomach goes down, and as we breathe out, we hold the core tighter and we just tilt our pelvis upwards. So it's just a small movement of the pelvis, working with your breath, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, but the whole time holding your core tight. Tilting it upwards, releasing it down, tilting it upwards and releasing it down. Should now be in a nice neutral spine, the spine nice flat along the floor. You might have a little arch there. Some people have natural curve to their spine, so don't worry if you have got an arch. We don't want great big bends if we can help it. So bringing your feet a little bit closer. Taking a breath in, pulling in the core. And as we breathe out, we squeeze the core down and start to tilt the pelvis upwards, and we continue lifting. So we're lifting up into a gentle bridge. We're holding it at the top. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, you slowly roll yourself back down to the ground, one vertebrae at a time. Breathing in, pulling in the core. Breathing out, we start to lift one vertebrae slowly, slowly, slowly to the top. Holding it there, breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, you gently roll back down again. Do that a couple of more times, releasing the spine, bringing it up, nice back bend, rolling back down, breathing in through the nose, pulling the core tight, breathing out through the mouth, core tighter, as we push ourselves up. This time holding at the top, taking your hands underneath, clasping your hands into a fist and roll the shoulders under if you can to give yourselves a nice deep stretch. Holding it there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing the hands, taking a breath in, pulling that core, and as you breathe out, holding the core tight, you roll yourself down to the mat. Amazing. Okay, take yourself over onto your sides. Left hand side with low blood pressure, pushing yourself up, and you're going to bring yourself round to the front of your mat. Going to bring yourself up to standing, so do it nice and slowly. Rolling yourself up, slowly, slowly, slowly. Shoulders back and down, neck and head finally lifts. Okay, as I said, you're not going to be able to see my head here. So I'm going to come a little bit back to the middle of my mat. You're all going to be standing to the front of your mats here for this sun salutation. I'm going to stand here just so that you can see me and I've not got a head missing. So standing here, standing nice and tall, shoulders back and down, breathing in, pulling in the core, raising the arms above your head. And as you breathe out, holding that core tight, you dive down so that your fingers are touching the floor. You might have your knees bent, don't worry if you have. And then we come to our halfway lift. So we're coming up, halfway lift, flat back. You're coming back down to the floor. Now from here, I'm going to walk back forwards now. You're going to take your right leg back. You're going to take your left leg back. So you're into a plank position. You're going to bring your knees down. You're going to bend down through the arms. You're going to come up. And you're going to come up into a slight back bend. Okay. You can take your hands off the floor. You should be able to stay where you are. Okay. You shouldn't be pushing yourself up. It's a natural back bend here. You push your hands back into the floor. You curl your toes under, and you come up into a downward dog. Okay. Downward dog. We lift our right leg up. We bring it forward between our hands. We take our left leg down, and we lean forward into a stretch there. Nice opening, coming back, we curl our back left foot under and we bring it forward so that we're back to the front of our mat, hanging in there, and then we coming back up. I'm going to move back, here we go. So we come all the way back up, breathing in, arms overhead, breathing out, we come down to standing tall. Okay, let's take that again on the opposite side. So big breath in, breathing in through the mouth, arms up. As we come down, we bring our hands down to the floor. We come up with a flat back position. We drop our hands back down. Here we're taking our left leg back, our right leg back into our plank position. We're dropping our knees down to the floor. We're coming down, rolling to the arms, come round into our back bend. We're not coming right up yet into swan, just a back bend. Take your hands off if you can. Coming back down, curling your toes under, coming up into our downward dog. This time we're bringing our left leg forward between our hands, dropping down onto the knee of our right leg, uncurling the toes and bringing ourselves forward for a stretch. Curling the toes under, coming forward, bringing the legs down, hanging for a moment, coming up all the way to standing. Coming back here so that I've not got my head missing again. How's that feeling? That's a sun salutation, a yoga sun salutation. We're going to do that a couple of more times, but we're going to try and bring in a full upward dog motion, okay? So starting again, taking a big breath in, breathing in through the mouth, raising the arms up. Slight back bend here now if you wish, and then as you come down, you're coming down and you're bringing your hands down to the floor. So we're here coming up to our flat back position. So we've got a nice flat back, bending down, putting our hands on the floor. Now if you want here, you can jump back into plank, or you take it back as we did prior, one leg at a time. We're not going to do full chaturanga at the moment. We're still going to keep with our knees down with our arms, but this time you might want to push yourself up into an upward dog. Okay, curling your toes under, bringing yourself up into a downward dog. Bringing our right leg forward, dropping our right knee down, uncurling the toes, and bringing ourselves forward, looking upwards. Opening the chest, taking our curling our toes under, bringing our foot forward, hanging down, bringing ourselves all the way up to standing, bringing our hands back down to our sides. Big breath in, taking the arms up, slight back bend if you wish here, and then folding yourself all the way down to the floor. Okay, hands to the mat, you can step back 1 foot at a time, or you can jump back, so you've got both legs jumping back together into your plank position. Knees rolling down, chest up, into upward dog if you wish. Curling your toes under, coming up into your downward dog. This time you're going to bring your left leg forward. You're going to release the right knee down, open the toes out flat, and coming forward, looking up, opening the chest, stretch around the thighs and the hips. Curling the toes under, bringing that foot forward, hanging down, and then bringing yourself all the way up. Standing, little back bend again if you wish. Bringing your hands back down to the floor. This time we're going to try and do full chaturanga. If you can't do that, not a problem, just stay with what we've just done. So taking a big breath in, taking the arms up. Slight back bend if you wish. Bringing your hands all the way down to the floor. Here we're coming up to our flat back position. Bringing our hands back down, stepping back or jumping back with both feet into your plank position, and from here you can either come down with our knees as we did before, or you can shift yourself forward and come down into a chaturanga, full upward dog where the knees are off the floor. Looking up, opening the chest, don't look up too much, just a gentle, and then curling the toes under, coming in to your downward dog. Bringing your right leg forward, dropping the left leg down, uncurling the toes, come forward, open the chest, looking gently upwards. Curling the toes under of the left foot, stepping forward, hanging down, and then bringing yourself all the way up. Little back bend if you wish, back down to standing. Okay, let's take that on the other side. Big breath in, breathing in through the nose. Breathing back, and then bringing yourself all the way down to the floor. Flat back position, rolling back down, jumping back or stepping back 1 foot at a time, coming down, chaturanga, knees, chest, chin, looking up to full upward dog here. Knees are off the mat, coming back into a downward dog. Taking your left leg forward, releasing the right leg down, releasing the toes, opening up here. Curling your toes under, bringing your leg forward and hanging down, and then finally bringing yourselves up. Little back bend and releasing down. Now, how was that, guys? A little sun salutation for you, and one of those for ages. So we now go back to a little bit more of our Pilates. So we're going to go for our classic Pilates roll up, roll down, because we've been doing those yoga movements there in the sun salutation. So let's just release our spine and get back to our neutral us. So standing nice and tall, feet flat on the mat, hip width apart, shoulders back and down, Pulling in the core, standing nice and tall, nice and straight. Big breath in, pulling that core. And as we breathe out through the mouth, we drop our chin to our chest. The neck comes down. The hands come forward down to the front of our legs. And we start to roll down. The upper back, the mid back and the lower back. Going down as slowly as you can to your point of comfort. And then when you get there, you just hang like a rag doll. Just hanging, you might want to just release your spine a little bit more, swinging from side to side. Very gently. Stop in there, taking a big breath in, pull that core in. And as you breathe out, squeezing the glutes, squeeze everything, hands to the front of the legs, you start to roll up. Your lower spine, your mid spine and your upper spine will come up. Roll in as slow as you can. When you get to the top, your shoulders will go back and down, your neck lifts, and finally your head. Let's do that again, shoulders back and down. Breathing in, pulling in the core tight, and as you breathe out, chin to chest, the neck comes down, shoulders come forward, rolling down, keeping everything as tight as you can, guys, squeezing the core tight. Every breath in, you pull your core in, every breath out, you pull the core tighter. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, to your point of comfort, hanging where you are. Let's release our neck here, so nod the head yes, shake the head no, really release it out. Taking a big breath in, pulling that core, and at the same time, you start to roll yourself back up, hands in front of your legs, coming up slowly, slowly, slowly. All the way to standing, shoulders, neck, and finally your head. Amazing, give yourselves a little bit of a shake out now. Okay, we're going to try and do some stretching, some standing stretching. So, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to take, now you might need a wall here, just don't worry if you've got a wall that you want to hold on to, something like that. Get ourselves feet, so our feet are nicely flat on the mat, taking your weight into your right leg. Take it down, making sure you're feeling comfortable, that the leg's comfortable. Then you're going to take up your left leg. You're going to take around the ankle of the left leg and you're going to squeeze it towards you. You can have your hand on your hip. You can take your hand overhead. We're stretching down the front of our thigh now. Really good stretch here for runners. And if you want, you can take yourself forward with that stretch. Woo. Yeah, we need our balance here, guys. Stretching forward, holding it there. Really squeeze that leg in. And then coming back, releasing the leg back down. And take that on the other side now. We've got our right leg nice and firmly into the mat. Nice and firm there. Getting yourself comfortable, making sure the foot feels really nice and comfortable. Taking up the right leg, holding behind the right leg here. Stretching down the front of that thigh. Hand on the hip, or you might want to take your hand overhead and stretch away here. And I'm going to wobble again. And then when you're ready, you can take yourself forward if you want to the stretch there. Really stretching down the front of that leg. And then releasing down. Okay, that's really good. So I did a stretch the other day where we bring our right leg over, so we've got it to the top of the knee. Don't put it on the knee, so we're bringing it to the top of the knee. Hands onto our hips and we sit down. Okay, so we've got an opening stretch here. Stretching our thigh. If you want, you can take your hands down to the mat. And if you want, you can come down all the way to seated, or not quite seated, so that your seat is on your heel of your back foot. So my heel is sitting, my cheek is sitting on my right heel, holding it there, stretching it out, and then coming back forward, bringing yourself back up, slowly, coming back to this position. Not the greatest one, and bringing yourself all the way back to standing. So I did it yesterday. Today, not feeling so good. So this time we're taking our leg across, again onto our right leg, coming back down here. Coming down so that we're in a seated sort of position, hands on our hips. And then if you want to take your hands down to the floor, and bring yourself all the way round so that you're seated. So your seat is on the heel of your left foot this time. See if I can get back up today from here. I think I've got very tight legs and where I've been walking. Been doing on average 25,000 steps a day here while I'm here. So taking my hand back in front, bringing myself back to standing, hands on hips, and then standing for, backs of my legs are tight. So let's come down to a bend forward, to stretch out our legs here. So we're bending down, a nice forward fold. You can do what we call gorilla pose, taking our hands underneath our feet and stretching down. If that's too much, you can just come from here and stretch wherever's good for you. And then we're going to bend our legs and we're going to sew ourselves back up to standing. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of arm work. Now, if I was at home, I would be using hand weights. Here we've got no hand weights, so we're just going to clench our fists and use our fists to strengthen our muscles, because that's the idea of what we're doing. So we're just going to start by raising the arms out and in. Feet nicely flat on the floor. You might want a little bend in your knees. Arms out and in. 8, 7, clench those fists. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Don't forget to breathe and to keep that core pulled in. Taking the arms out there, let's do circle forwards. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze those fists tight. Let's do little pulses here. Let's just pulse the arms up and down. And then taking the arms up so they're in cactus shape. Let's do our little stretching here. 8, 7, hold that core tight. 6, 5, squeeze the fists. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go up, down, and in. Up, down, and in. 6, core tight. 5, clench those fists. 2, last one. Bring the hands out in front, holding them out in front. Squeeze those fists tight, squeeze them. Separate the arms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release those hands, shake them out. Okay, right, I think we're going to be done for today. It's really difficult trying to do it from here, so hopefully you've enjoyed that. We're going to come down to the mat and we're going to do a little bit of relaxation, and then you're free to go about your day or evening or whatever you're going to be doing after this. So bringing yourself to the tops of your mat, standing tall. I'm going to come from this end actually. Yeah, come bring yourself to the back of the mat. We'll do our roll down from here. So bringing our arms back and forward, standing nice and tall, breathing in through the nose. And as we breathe out, we pull that core tight and take our chin to chest, take our neck down, take our hands to the front of our legs. As the shoulders come forward, the upper, mid and the back spine are coming down. When you get to your point, bend your knees if you need to reach the floor. Bringing yourself down to the mat, bringing yourself round and take yourself down to the mat. Left hand side if you're coming down from your side with low blood pressure. Otherwise you're coming down with me, as we did right at the start of the practice, feet flat on the mat, hip width apart, arms out in front of you, breathing in, pulling in that core. And as we breathe out, we start to roll down one vertebrae. Don't forget we've got the back of our thighs if we need to use them. And then we're coming down all the way to the floor. Feet mat width, knees locked in if you wish, entirely up to you. Or you can take your legs long. Maybe you want to take any stretch now before you come into spinal relaxation. You might want to do a side stretch here with your legs going over. You might want to do a full body stretch. Get yourself comfortable. Get yourself ready to completely relax. Get yourself into your Shavasana. Corpse pose, relaxation pose. Taking your arms out to your side, palms facing up to bring in some energy. If you want to feel a little bit more grounded, you can take your palms down. Sometimes people even just rest them on their belly. Whatever feels good for you and whatever feels right for you today. So allow all 10 toes and 10 fingers. Give them a wriggle. And then just allow them to soften. Relaxing the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet. Relaxing your ankles. Relaxing your thighs and your calves. Relax the knees. Both legs relaxed. Relaxing your pelvis, your lower stomach, your glutes and your lower spine. Relax the mid-spine and the tummy. Relax your upper spine and your chest. Relaxing the backs of your hands, the palms of your hands, the tops of your arms, the lower arms, and your elbows. Both arms softed, rested. Relaxing your shoulders down, your neck, and finally your head. Feel the weight of your head as it releases into the ground beneath. Relax all your facial muscles, your jaw, maybe parting your lips and releasing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax those cheekbones, eyes, your eyelids, your eyebrows. Relax your forehead and the top of your head. Soft, gentle body into the mat beneath. The whole body. Just the breath now, rise and fall of your belly. It's the only movement. Concentrate on that breath. Breathing in, breathing out. some yoga today. Let's realign our chakras. Let's take your concentration to your navel area and start to visualise a clockwise motion from the tummy, circling around slowly. Let the circle get larger. Brings in the lower core and the rib cage, realigning those areas. And it brings in your chest to your pelvis area. As the circle increases, it takes in both arms and the shoulders. Your upper legs, and then the knees and the lower legs. And it brings in your ankles and your feet, rising into your head, to your whole body is now working in a clockwise motion. Keep going, your whole body's circling one way. And then take a stop. Focus back to the navel and the breath as it rises and falls. Into that relaxation. And we're going to start to bring ourselves back. Visualize the room that you're in. Listen to any noises that you can hear close by, and then further away, bringing your senses back to the here and now. And then start to just gently move your head from side to side, waking up your neck. Start to move your fists into circle movements, your wrists and your feet moving in circles. And then bringing your feet flat onto the mat. Getting yourself comfortable. Taking a big breath in through the nose and release it through the mouth. Do that again. Big breath in through the nose. Release through the mouth. And then when you are ready, taking your feet, pushing the weight into your feet and shift your hips to the opposite direction in which you are going to roll. So for me, I shift my hips over to my right and I roll onto my left, which I would suggest if you have low blood pressure, you take the same movement. Breathing gently here, keeping the eyes closed down still if you can. Gently pushing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. That might be legs long, that might be cross legs, whatever feels good for you. Start to roll your shoulders backwards, lifting and rolling, waking the shoulders, then bringing them forward. And then taking a big breath in, raising the arms up, taking the palms together, bringing the hands down so that they have your center, bringing them down to your heart chakra. Taking a bow, keeping your eyes open now. And then give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys.